Okay, I'm going to go through the answers to task 5 and 6. So this is a mixture of the first two skill sets. We've got the first one, we've got 100 to the power of a half, so anything to the power of half is a square root, so square root of 100 is 10. We've got 7 to the power of minus 2, anything to the minus, you can flip it, so 7 up to the power, 1 over 7 to the power of 2. Don't forget to work that out, it is 1 over 7 squared, which is 49. Anything to the power of 0 is just 1. On our next one, we work out our top first, so x to the power of 9 times x to the power of 2. We're going to add those together to make x to the power of 11 over x to the power of 5. That means divide, so we would subtract our numbers, which is x to the power of 6. If we are writing a number as a product of its prime in index form, we start with 315. Ends in 5, so I know 5 goes into it. 5 times 63 is 315. 2 numbers multiplied to make 63. We can do 7 times 9. 7 is a prime number, and 2 numbers multiplied to make 9. We've got 3 and 3, both prime numbers. So 315 can be written as 3 to the power of 2 times 5 times 7, because we've got 2 3s. 450, we could do 10 and 45. 2 factors of 10, we could do 2 and 5. Both of those are prime. And 2 numbers multiplied to make 45, we could do 5 times 9, and 5 is a prime number, 9 though is 3 times 3. So 450 can be written as 2 times 3 squared, because we've got 2 of those, times 5 squared, because we've got 2 of those. So using that information, we're going to do a Venn diagram. This side is going to be 315, this side is 450. So 315 is 3 times 5 times 7. And 450 is 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. So I've got a 3, that can go in the middle. I've got another 3, that can go in the middle. I've got a 5, that can go in the middle. So I've got left on this side, I've got a 7, and left on this side, I've got a 2 and a 5. Highest common factor is going to be the middle numbers, so 3 times 5, which is 45. And our lowest common multiple is going to be all the numbers. So we've got 7 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 2, which is 3,150. Next, we've got a bit of standard form. So when we're adding or subtracting, in this case subtracting is standard form, we write our numbers out of standard form. So we've got 1 and then 4 numbers after the first, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're subtracting 5, and then 3 numbers, so 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write that underneath each other, and then we're going to subtract. So 0, 0, we need to borrow here. So that's 7, 0, 1. In standard form, 1.07 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one, when we're multiplying in standard form, we multiply our numbers. So we're going to do 3.1 times 4, which is 12.4. Then we're going to multiply our numbers, so we've got 10 to the power of 5 times 10 to the power of 4. We're going to add those powers because multiplying to the power of 9. So we've got 12.4 times 10 to the power of 9. However, that is incorrect. It needs to be 1.24 times 10, and we need to add 1 to that power. Next one, we're dividing, so we're going to do 6.9 divided by 3. That's going to be 2.3. Then we do our tens or powers, so 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 3. We'll subtract these numbers when we are dividing. So our answer is going to be 2.3 times 10 to the power of 3. Next one, Terry and Jerry share £56 in the ratio of 3 to 11. How much do they each receive? Step 1 is to add your ratio, so 3 add 11 is 14. If we share that 56 into the ratio of 14, we get £4. And then we need 3 parts. So if 1 part is £4, so 3 parts is going to be £12, and 11 parts is going to be £44. So Terry receives 12 and Jerry receives 44. I know my pound signs looks like E's, I apologise. Right, task 6. This is going to be 64 to the power of a half, so anything to the power of half is a square root. So the square root of 64 is going to be 8. Anything to the power of minus means we flip it, so it's 1 over 9 squared. Don't forget to work that out, so that's 1 over 81. Anything to the power of 0 is just 1. This one we need to multiply our top first, so 9 times 2 is 18. Then x to the power of 7 times x to the power of 6, we add those, which is x to the power of 13. Over 3x to the power of 5, so we're going to divide 18 divided by 3 is 6. and then x to the power of 13 divided by x to the power of 5. We need to subtract those numbers, which is x to the power of 8. Next one, we've got 120, product of primes. We've got 120. We need two numbers multiplied to make 120. We could do 2 and 60. Then we could do 2 and 30. Then we could do 2 and 15. There's a lot of 2s. Then we could do 3 and 5. So this can be written as 2 to the power of 3, because we've got 3 2s, times 3 times 5. 100, again, we could do, well, let's do it a bit differently. We could do 10 times 10. Then we could do 2 times 5, and we could do 2 times 5. So 100 can be written as 2 squared times 5 squared. Don't forget, those are times, not add in. We're going to use that information to make a Venn diagram. So we've got 120 this side, 100 this side. So 120 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And 100 is 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. So we've got a 2 and a 2. So it goes in the middle. 2 and a 2 in the middle. We've got 5 and a 5 in the middle. Left on this side I've got 2 and 3. Oh, I did need to write times. It doesn't really matter, but... And on this side I've got 5. So our highest common factor is going to be the middle. So 2 times 2 times 5, which is 20. And our lowest common multiple, I forgot what it's called then. We've got 2 times 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5, which is 600. Okay, next one's split standard form and then ratio to end. So when we are subtracting or adding in standard form, we're going to write our numbers out of standard form. So the first one is going to be 7. Then we got 4 numbers after the first because it's power of 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're subtracting 6.3 times 10 to the power 2, which is 6, and then 2 numbers, so 1, 2. So we're subtracting this. So we've got 0 take away 0. We're going to have to borrow all the way from here. That's going to go 10, then 9, so 10. So we've got 7, 3, and then 2, 7. And in standard form, this can be written as 7.237 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. When we're multiplying, we're going to multiply our numbers. So I'm going to do 2.1 times 3. So 2.1 times 3 is 6.3. And then we're going to times our powers. So we've got 10 to the power of 8 times 10 to the power of minus 5. When we are timesing, we need to add those powers. So 8 add minus 5 is just 8 take away 5, which is 10 to the power of 3. So our number is 6.3 times 10 to the power of 3. Dividing, we're going to do 2 divided by 4. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2, or 0.5. Then we've got 10 to the power of 6 divided by 10 to the power of 2. When we're dividing, we take away our powers. So we've got 6 take away 2, which is 10 to the power of 4. So our answer is 0.5 times 10 to the power of 4. However, it's not, because we need to change that into a number bigger than 1, basically. Well, between 1 and 10. So our answer is going to be 5 times 10. Now our number's moving the opposite way this time. So we're not going from 12.1 to 1.2. We're going from 0.5 to 5. So we need to take 1 from the power. So we need to take 1 away to get 3. Next one, we've got Dom and Tom. Share £132 in the ratio of 2 to 9. How much do they each receive? So 2 parts and 9 parts. They're sharing 11 parts. So £132 in those 11 parts. That means 1 part is £12. So we've got 2 parts for Dom. 1 part is £12. 2 parts is going to be £24. Tom has the 9 parts. So 1 part is £12. 9 parts is going to be £108. So Dom 24 and Tom 108. Check they make